Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and dreamers of all ages, welcome to the Disney Countdown Show.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Disney Countdown Show. We are so happy you are listening in today. My name is Megan, aka the Magical Millennial, and I am joined today by my lovely co-host, the Dapper Danielle. How you doing over there, Danielle?
I mean, I'm doing better than you are, babe.
Don't make me laugh too hard. I'm going to start coughing. Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I have a feeling we're going to have to save it for a game later on with Chris. So I'm going to try to keep it on the down low. For y'all that don't know, Miss Megan came over here to Walt Disney World not too long ago. And I don't know what happened. And we'll talk about this a little bit later once we get into it. But the poor girl is fighting off something. And
this is now either my second or third time where I've come back from Orlando with the nastiest cold. I think I mentioned this maybe in the show where we did the Dopey Challenge in 2022, and yes. I had never been so sick in my life. I was sick for like a month. I could not get rid of this cold. And this is almost the same feeling where I'm like, oh man, I've been pretty stagnant with this thing for a couple of days, and I'm like, I hope it goes away soon. I'm trying so hard. I'm resting. I'm not going anywhere.
You know, some people just ain't built to deal with our swamp diseases that we have here in Florida. Is really what it is.
I don't know. I think it's just a combination of like, running around the parks a little bit, like being a little too active, too physical, and just running my body into the ground. Sometimes that happens.
We're running around like a chicken leading up to your trip here to Florida too. So you already were like weakening your body immune system.
Totally. Absolutely. It was like Season of the Forest, Pixar Fest, a ton of stuff was happening over here. That's exactly right. And then I went to Orlando. So it's a combination of all the things. And we're trying to get back to full health. So hopefully soon, y'all.
Goodness, girly. Goodness.
Yeah.
Well, again, y'all, welcome back to the show. We so appreciate that you are here and that you are listening in, and make sure that you are following us over on the socials, right? Mm-hmm. So we got, goodness, TikTok has been active for you, Megan.
A little bit it has. Yes, the TikTok has been a little bit on the fritz, but you just got to run with it. I always
keep plugging away.
Keep plugging away, keep posting, yes. And of course, we do post quite frequently on our Disney Countdown Show page. That's on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We are Pod Disney on Twitter /the X. And of course, you can watch our full episodes of this podcast on YouTube. That's youtube.com/Countdown Network. And then, we've been posting a lot, like we've been saying, on the TikTok, on the Instagram. That's the Magical Millennial _ on the socials, and then the Dapper Danielle as well.
That's right.
And you've probably been seeing all my lost voice videos on there too.
Thank goodness for voiceover videos, man. That's the only way we do anything.
I know. Especially like if there's background noise. I had to do a voiceover video specifically for the Pixar Pals Playtime Party, like my alliteration best friend. And because the dance party had started right when I wanted to do a food review of all the things at Troubadour Tavern, because they have such a good menu for Pixar Fest. And I'm like, it literally just started. It went for 45 minutes. I kid you not. So I'm like, all right, this is a voiceover video. I don't really have time for this. So
wow,
that's just what we're doing. Yeah. But no complaints. It worked out well. It's fine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. And yes, again, over on the personal socials, the Instagrams and the YouTube, I just posted a YouTube video that I have not done in a long time. It's like a little vlog of our adventures. And we'll do that a little bit in the catching up, but we have some stuff that we need to talk about with our reviews. And people have sent us a lot of fan messages also. For those that are new to the podcast, or maybe this is your first time here listening, welcome. We're so happy to have you. But we do ask that you go ahead and rate us over on Spotify with the little star system. Over on Apple is where you can rate us, and then also give us like a little message, and then we can read through it. And sometimes we read it here on the show. Or if you don't have any of the things, or you like do the star system on Spotify, like I just said, you can then send us a DM over on the Insta spams, and that's how we can read it also. Yes.
Yes, and we have a few of those if you want to get started on the first one here, Danielle.
I can totally do that. Yes. Oh, here, let me move this over so way I can see it properly because I don't know what's happening on the screen. There we go. It says, oh my goodness, I love that we have nicknames in this. It says Best of Both Worlds, and this is by Chance 618 at 5 stars. Thank you very much, Chance. And it says, I love Dee Dee and MTMM's individual content.
The acronyms, I love that.
I love how many M's, like I know I'm DD, but then, or TDD, and then your MMM.
Yeah.
Who are all the M&Ms?
That's great. I haven't seen that in person yet. That's awesome.
Oh, I love that. But I love your individual content, but getting both of them in one podcast is amazing. I even listened to a separate pod dedicated to all the Ratatouilles and Rantums of the opera. I love that. And I am unironically fans. You are I'm reading this wrong. And I'm an unironic fan of the Beverly. So yes, Megan, we do exist. LOL.
Oh, you do exist. You are a real thing. Okay. I do have a friend that is also a fan of the Beverly, or just thinks it tastes fine, and doesn't taste like, I'm not gonna give it that much of a derogatory term, but it literally tastes like dirt. So I'm so glad that you like the Beverly. There's a reason they keep it around. There must be people that like it, right? So congratulations. I don't know where your taste buds came from.
It really is the best promotion though for the drink, is just everyone's videos about it and making their friends try it.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason why Madam Web made so much money, is because people wanted to see how bad it was. So I get it. There's, I guess, any PR is good PR, right? All right, this next one. By the way, y'all, I'm so sorry. We always start the top of the episode with just like introducing ourselves in the socials, but we are actually doing our top 5 Disney parks lands today as part of our countdown. This is
talked about that earlier.
Yeah, that is our countdown. That's our countdown for this week, and so we'll be talking about that a little bit later, going through our countdowns. And that's Disney Parks Land. So a lot of people were asking us, because our lovely Patreon fam did ask us, does this mean it's just Disneyland and Magic Kingdom? What does this mean? Is it like Adventureland, Fantasyland? I considered it to be Disney Parks, like all of Disney parks, right? Mm-hmm. There are lands in every single park. That's Animal Kingdom, that's California Adventure. And so I did take into account all the lands from them. I don't know about you, Danielle, but I did not just include Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. So I'm thinking, I don't know if this is like what you want to do, Danielle, but I think we might have to do a part 2. We were totally thinking this was just going to be a one and done, one episode, but we might have to extend this out into a part 2.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of the cool thing about these lists, is that as we do them, and even as lands change, right? Mm-hmm. So certain areas across Disney World and even Disneyland, like once construction's over with, maybe Critter Country will be your favorite land after Tiana's Bayou Adventure's done. But as of right now, while we're filming this episode, these are going to be our top 5s for everywhere. So yeah, I'm thinking everywhere, babe, because there's
I think everywhere too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a nice little sprinkling of all over the parks here in America.
Same. I've got the oldies, but I've also got the newbies too. So, yeah, I think we got to include all of them. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't stop here. We can always do a little part 2. So
we can always narrow it down and make it specific into each park. But I think we'll have to talk through that in more detail later.
We will. Yes, we will.
Once we're done with this episode, let us know in the comments. Send us a DM. Hey, okay, we want Megan and Danielle to break down this specific area or this specific park. Let us know. We want to hear back from you.
Love that. Yes, but yes, we will get into our countdown later on. That's our top 5 Disney Parks lands. But let's get to this next review here, because it's very, very sweet. This is from Diana at the Castle. She says, my favorite podcast with 5 stars. Absolutely love this podcast. Megan and Danielle are incredibly knowledgeable, and the topics are always interesting. I look forward to watching and listening on YouTube every week. Whether you're seeking nostalgic throwbacks or the latest Disney updates, this podcast has you covered. 5 stars without a doubt. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Diana. Very, very nice.
I do know there's so many Dianas, but I do know a Diana that used to work in the castle as a fairy godmother. So Diana, if this is you, Hello.
Send us a follow-up DM. Yes, hi.
If not, I still love your name though. It's great.
Thank you, Diana.
Oh, I love that. And we do have a couple of messages from over on the Instagrams of people that have sent over stuff. Now, this one's actually from one of our Patreon fam. This is from Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Oh, I love this. And it says, "Hi, Megan and Danielle. I have a little ratatouille from this week's countdown, LOL, with the soundtrack picks from the Renaissance. There were some discussions on the genius of Alan Menken, but none on the genius of Howard Ashman." Okay. Ooh, I watched the documentary of him on Disney Plus last year and was blown away with the fact that I'd never heard of him, but he was essentially the creative force that inspired the Renaissance.
Oh,
He wrote the songs for The Little Mermaid and was the one who suggested Sebastian have an accent. Beauty and the Beast and some of Aladdin, including the banger A Friend Like Me. Howard and Alan came to Disney as a team, but Howard passed away in the 90s before Beauty and the Beast premiered. So I feel like he's easily forgotten in comparison to the career of Alan, which he went on to build. And don't get me wrong, Alan is amazing and deserves all the credit he gets. I just wish some more people knew and gave credit to Howard for sparking the studios out of the dark era. Okay, thank you for coming to my Ratatouille. LOL, you guys are the best, and sorry if you already knew all this, but had to share in case. Like me, you did not.
I did not. I mean, that's Amber, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention, and then obviously to everyone's attention, because no, I did not know about Sir Howard Ashman. But thank you so much, because obviously all of those songs, a lot of the songs and the soundtracks made my list for our top 10 Disney soundtracks. And I really appreciate that you let us know who else is also the brains behind a lot of the beloved songs that we know and love. So thank you.
Yes.
And thank you to Howard Ashman.
Yes. Alan was the composer, basically. He wrote all the music, and then the lyrics, what actually made up the meat of the song, was written by Howard, which is awesome.
Okay. Yes. Gosh, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much, because that will forever remain in my brain now. So appreciate it. Thanks, Amber. Okay, so this next fan message, it says, "Hello, Danielle, Megan, and producer / game master Chris. I just found out about
Chris,
the
you got a
podcast."
shout out.
Chris
Sorry.
gets a shout out too. I follow Danielle and Megan on all the socials. My wife and I are huge fans of Disney and the parks. We live in South Florida and have annual passes for Walt Disney World. We always say we are Disney adults that have kids. I love that. We have 2 toddlers, a girl 2.5 and boy 18 months, that also love Disney. Every time we play one of the movies, they both shout out, "The castle!" when Cinderella's castle comes up before the movie starts. We are going back to the parks in 2 weeks. We will be that family wearing matching shirts. Love it. I'm also super excited for this trip because I am building a lightsaber for the first time. Woohoo! Yeah. My wife already booked it too. She is the planner. I wanted to say I love your content. The podcast is magical. I started with the latest episode of the movie soundtrack countdown. I went back to a few other episodes as well. I wanted to point out, because even though I just turned 43, I was giggling every time Megan said Pooh Corner when talking about the remodeling they're doing in Disneyland. Every time we ride Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, when we get to the end, we call King Triton Zaddy Triton. That's right. Lastly, my daughter also loves Daisy Duck, as she's just as sassy as her. Keep being magical. And this is from Alex via email, actually. So thank you, Alex. Yeah, Pooh Corner. You know, that was the first time I ever considered Pooh Corner to be kind of interesting name for that. I never even put 2 and 2 together. So that is kind of funny. And I'm 31, so I'm still giggling. Thank you, Alex.
I mean, it's true though. Oh, I love that though. And so, and I'll mention this a little bit later because of May the 4th, but I've never built a lightsaber, but I just got to witness someone else build a lightsaber, which was an amazing experience. So I am so excited for you, Alex.
Savi's workshop is a really cool place, and it's a very fun experience. I did it as a treat to myself when I hit 100K followers on TikTok a couple of years ago. So I still have my build your own, and it's so fun because they updated the designs a little bit in the last year or so, and so they're all new looking, and you can change out the kyber crystal whenever you want if you want to get more and just change out the colors. It's so cool. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be a fun experience.
Or if you end up building two, there is a way to connect them so you have dual
Yes.
servers.
Yes.
And
Both
it's
that.
very cool.
So enjoy it. Yay, Alex.
Well, we have another one. This one's going to be from Cara, and this is on Instagram. She messaged us over there for this one. And it says, "Hi, Danielle and Megan. I finally caught up on the podcast, so time for my 5-star review by me, Cara from England. Started following Danielle on Insta after she kept popping up in my Disney stuff. Then along came Megan too. Once I discovered you both had a podcast, I thought I'd give it a listen, and so glad I did. It's about the magic. It brought back the magic for me. It's the perfect balance of news, chat, and fun. Countdowns. It has me back into the Disney vibes. Feels like talking with friends with the same Disney love. I thought my Disney World trip days were over when my last trip got canceled by the nasty 2020. Yes, everybody, I feel that. And I've been lucky enough to be going on and off since the age of 7, and my last trip was in 2016. I drifted away from Disney, sad cry face emoji, but happy ending alert at 21 times 2, right? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
20, I get it. Math is hard.
Yep.
But happy ending alert at 21 times 2. I have a trip planned for 3 whole weeks in September and October. It's amazing as well to get to celebrate with my mom's 70th, my birthday, and my little brother's wedding to his lovely, also Disney loving fiance. Thank you for reuniting the magic.
Oh, wow, Cara, that's amazing. Oh, 3 weeks is going to be a blast.
Yes. Great holiday. See, and that's where
Totally.
I loved meeting people from England, and a lot of them stayed over in like the moderate resort areas like Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter. So when I worked there, you got to hang out with these families because they didn't go to the park every day. They hung out at the resort for like over a week, and you just get to meet them and talk with them and learn all about them. And it's such a fun time. Love
cool.
the UK fam. What's up? Love you guys.
Yes, honestly though, everyone that I've met from the UK at Disney World, I've met quite a few people, has been absolutely wonderful, and so cool that that they kind of just live there for a little bit, and that's really my dream. I want to try that at one point. But that's gonna be such a fun trip. So many things to celebrate too. Amazing.
Yes.
All right, our last one here is from Allison. Allison says, "I freaking love listening to this podcast. I watch all the YouTube vids while cleaning at home and listen to the bonus episodes during prep time, working at my school office. I have an idea for a countdown. Best Disney movie theme songs. For example, Monsters, Inc. has the jazz song, the orchestra in the beginning of Beauty and the Beast, the Star Wars opening song. Keep up the great work and thank you." I love that countdown idea. It's weird that you say that because I've had the Monsters, Inc. jazz song stuck in my head for the last 48 hours. I'm not even kidding.
That's because Pixar Fest.
I think it's because of Pixar Fest. And I've been seeing a lot of videos having that song in the background. So it's been playing over and over. I'm not complaining. It's a great song. But that's
it's hilarious. You can find like a jazz karaoke version of it somewhere on TikTok
because
since everything else, all the other sounds are struck.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I love that idea. And yeah, Star Wars, we can always talk about Star Wars songs for sure.
Oh yeah. Again, that'd be a whole nother rant for another time. And that was a good idea. Well, we're going to put that in the list.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Allison.
But another great way to connect with us is through our Patreon. And we have a couple of new Patreon fan members. We have Libby, Ben, Susan, Christopher, and Amber. Ooh, this sounds like such a sophisticated bunch the way I just said that right now. I love that. Yes.
Welcome, everyone.
And our Patreon has some really cool like stuff, not to brag, but we do have a really cool community and a really great Patreon family. We actually have some Patreon followers are here in our chat right now listening live, and they're talking to us over here in the little chat box as we're recording this video. And that's something that's available to our pass holders and DC 33 members, which is our middle and top tiers. That is correct, right, Megan?
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
But we also have a ton of other great stuff too. We do virtual hangouts with our Patreon family, and we are going to be planning that here very, very soon. So stay tuned on the Facebook and the Discord, and we'll be releasing that info very soon. Speaking of Discord, though,
yes,
we do have a live channel that is going to be the comment notes. So meaning that usually when it's a Discord, you have different channels, and you have to be invited in. So we do have a section of the Discord that is exclusive just for DC33, just for our Patreon family. But we do have a channel that is currently open to everyone. So you can kind of see a little bit of what's going on, what we're talking about, the memes that everybody's sending to me and Megan about some of our adventures, and mostly just pictures of Orangebird and Chubby, my two sons, which I love. And yes, it's a public channel is technically what it's called. It's just a public channel. Everyone can access that. And that is in the description notes of the show also.
Yes.
So cool.
Yes. Yeah. So if you want to connect with fellow Disney fans, it's a public channel for you guys, and go ahead and click the link in our episode notes, and that will take you right to it. So we have a lot of fun over on the Discord. It's a good time.
Mm-hmm. And in the Patreon, we have multiple different tiers. We have 3 tiers to be exact. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I have our names of our tiers correctly. I've been talking so much about DC33 and pass holder fam, but we also have another tier also.
Mm-hmm. Is that our park hopper option?
Our park hopper option, yes. So if you notice, I love how we named them like different levels. They were like different like entrance keys into the parks. So yes, we have park hopper, pass holder, and DC33 family, and they really great community over there. Again, thank you to all of our Patreon members. We appreciate you so much, and we'll see you guys in the live chat hangout a little bit later on this month.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And on that note, Danielle, we have over 250 members of our magical Patreon family. So thank you guys so much for your support, for listening in, and just for being a part of the Disney Countdown Show fam. We love you guys.
Amazing.
See, it's so awesome.
That's so awesome. Now, okay, now that we talked about the Patreon fam, we've gone through our fan mail, all this other good stuff. Megan, you just finished up your trip here at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Back a lovely cold with you. But
I did.
We've been talking before we started recording this episode of some of the reasons like that really triggered this, that really sparked this, which was an exciting time. And I'm so excited you got to do this, but we're wondering if like the shock and the air pressure and everything else just caused your body to be like, no. And
So, yes, I had, so this whole plan, I had literally booked my flight a week and a half out because my parents were going to Orlando. My dad had a conference. He had a full meeting he was going to do over in the Universal area of Orlando. So I was like, bet, I'm going to get a flight. I'll go with you. Hotel's paid for, and I'll use my pass again for Disney World. My mom really wanted to go to Epcot. So I was like, cool, we're going to do Epcot together. We also did Universal as well, which was a great day. Had a lovely time. And then we went to Epcot, and then I was thinking, oh, there's the tour that I want to do at Epcot, the dive quest. I've been looking at that for a while. Danielle and I had even talked about that a couple weeks prior. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to book it. I'm going to go do the dive quest because I am scuba certified. Got my certification a couple years ago, and haven't done too many dives since because I don't know if you guys know, Southern California water is, it's not ideal to dive in. The visibility isn't great and the temperature is not great. It's cold. And there's just not a ton. Like Catalina might have some good like kelp forest to go explore, but it's not, Bora Bora. So so I haven't done too many dives, but I was like, I'm gonna do it and see what it's like. On our Epcot day, Mom and I were having a great time. We did Frozen, we did Grand Fiesta Tour, and got our lightning lanes for like Remy's, which she really wanted to do, and Guardians, which we were gonna do twice. And when it came to be about 1:30, I had to walk on over to go do the dive quest. They took us backstage, like behind the scenes. We saw some of the manatees that they're rehabbing right now because one doesn't have a tail, and he's so cute, and he's been there for 20 years. And I don't think he's ever going to be potato. He's a little sweet potato eating their lettuce and being happy as can be. And they don't think that one's going to be re-released into the wild because he has mobility issues without having a tail, of course. But he seems very happy. And then there's another one in there who also seems happy, but will probably be re-released in the next couple of years. And then we saw some of the dolphins that they're also taking care of. And then we got suited up and jumped into the giant tank that you see at the end of the Finding Nemo ride and also the Coral Reef restaurant. So that when we got into the water, honestly, I was expecting it to be a lot colder, like a lot. I was expecting it to be freezing, right? But they gave us wetsuits that are cut off at the sleeves. They weren't full body wetsuits. There wasn't a hood. So I'm like, okay, maybe the water's not going to be that cold. It really wasn't. By that time, my voice had kind of already started going, and I didn't really feel sick, to be honest. I was just like, oh, like, I just don't have a voice. And, but then I got into the water. I had trouble equalizing as I went down, because you're supposed to, either move your jaw or like blow, into your nose, I guess, and plug your nose and blow to try and equalize your ears. I had trouble doing that going down, so I was kind of nervous about that. But then I was able to finally make it happen, and I was able to explore a little bit. It was, first of all, the dive was amazing. It's really cool to be able to like just float and coast with the animals and not have to worry about any currents or anything. Like in nature, you are fighting against obviously the waves that are coming through. Mm-hmm. And then also just the visibility issues, like because sand can come up, depending on the water quality. But that was not an issue. Like you could just see literally everything that you were going to kind of go explore.
I could also see tourists through the glass.
I know. I went up to my mom. I could see my mom waving at me through the glass, and I was like waving at the camera. She was like filming me, which was really nice. So we did that. You dive for about 40 minutes, and then the dive leads tap this little thing underwater to have you come back up. And when I did, I noticed that I literally, my right ear was completely still like blocked and clogged. And I was like, okay, well, that's not great. So it was like that for the rest of the day. After I got changed, and after, we showered and everything, and I went back into the parks. And then I think after Luminous, actually, was when it finally started to clear up. But yeah, I think the dive, long story short, of course, I think the dive may have exacerbated it a little bit. Oh. And the next day, I think I was supposed to go to Magic. I did go to Magic Kingdom kind of on a solo day. Oh my gosh, I did not feel great waking up, to be honest. I was like, oh man.
Thank goodness you did.
I did sleep in. I texted you, and I was like, I think it was noon or something. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to make it to the parks till like 2 or something.
And I'm like,
I'm just not feeling it. Yeah. So, got a little bit of a late start, but, that's how the dive quest went at Epcot. Again, I absolutely loved it. I would 100% go back and do it again. I will make sure I'm in complete 100% health at that time. And
not like in the beginning stages of maybe fighting something off, and then all of a sudden
pressure
and
exactly
the cold salt water shocking your system to being like, nope, we're done now.
Right. And it's also just like the pressure of going 40 feet underwater will not help a cold for sure. So
right.
I would 100% do it again. It was just
next time to be in better health, I'll be able to come and like video you and get like I'll make all the what is it? The documentary soundtrack to you swimming and being like, here we see the Homo sapien and its water habitat. As she floats along, this specific species is a magical millennial. And I'm going to have a whole like list ready for it so we can refilm it and we'll be ready to go. And then we'll also do the behind the scenes tour. I think this is what the next one that we're going to aim for.
Yes.
And I'll have to do that one next time with you.
Behind the scenes, I also I'm so desperate to do the wild animal trek over at Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
Wherever that was, Wild Safari Trek. I have to do that one as well. That's on my next tours.
Already planning the next trip, and where she's barely even recovered from the last one.
I'm still looking forward. Still looking ahead.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But
Megan was doing all of that. A ton of other stuff was happening. On that same day, I was already in Hollywood Studios while she was sleeping in before she went to Magic Kingdom. It was the 35th anniversary of Hollywood Studios.
Yep.
Got to see all that for the brief second that it was, and all the merchandise. The merchandise is already back over in the regular stores, y'all. If you are in Hollywood Studios sometime here in the next 2 weeks, it's still probably over there. If you want to grab either a Loungefly or a t-shirt or hat.
T-shirt. I got the pass holder shirt. I was very excited about that.
Yeah, Yeah, see, I'm glad you at least got something, because we did end up going to Hollywood Studios later on that night instead, because we met up with some other friends too, and we hung out. That was a great time. Got to go on Slinky Dog Dash, film some really cute TikToks. Can't wait for those to come out. Those were really funny.
I know.
Then also May the 4th just happened. All these events just happened, right? There was
I know.
one right after the other.
Yes.
Megan did not go to May the 4th over in Disneyland because she was in full recovery mode.
I was in bed.
Yes,
Yep.
which is good.
Oh, you know what I did do though? You know what I did do?
What'd you do?
Danielle. This is the one thing I have done this maybe twice in my life is I actually went on DisneyStore.com at 8 a.m. and I ordered some stuff. I was supposed to drop
nobody's surprised, Megan, but at the
I don't
same
think it's-
time, like
I know, but I could have waited. However,
the park. So you were just like, I don't want to miss out, so I'm going to go ahead and go on Shop Disney.
I had FOMO and I jumped. I was too eager, so I ordered things. And I like to. This is girl mathing it, right? So I like to frame it like that's the money I would have spent on gas because I obviously don't get my discount on DisneyStore.com. Like, okay, that's the money I would have spent on gas trying to get over there, and maybe a food item. I probably would have gotten food, so I saved on those. And therefore saved money staying in bed and ordering Star Wars stuff online.
I was thinking that you didn't buy the Darth Maul lightsaber, right?
Oh no, honey, no.
Okay, good.
No, I have plenty of sabers. I'm good.
I know. So many people, if you did not know, y'all, there was a limited edition of like 7,000 of this Darth Maul saber that released. The saber comes in like it's a new singing box. So when you open it, it does play Duel of the Fates and it glows, but then it has the sabers there. It does not include the light points. It's just the hilt. That's all of it. And it cost like $400 plus dollars.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Happy for those that did buy it, but I could not girl math that one at all to justify that purchase.
No, same. I like Darth Maul. My fiance and I watched The Phantom Menace on Saturday actually to celebrate the 25th anniversary of that movie. And but I could not also justify getting a Darth Maul saber without the actual get the light part, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but congratulations to my Darth Maul fans that got it because that's it. It looked
We're happy
cool.
for you, but we could not girl math the logic for ourselves for that one.
No, I'm so sorry. No.
But it was great getting to see everyone. And there were so many people that listened to the podcast too that said, while I was walking around Batu and hanging out, so many people came up and been like, "Hey, Danielle, I really love your content. Also, I really love the podcast." I'm like, oh my gosh. It's still, I don't know. I'm so used to people coming up and saying, "Hey, I love the TikTok. Hey, I love the Instagram." So whenever somebody mentions like the podcast, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a thing. I love that so much because this is just a casual hangout basically for me and Megan that we get to just talk about all of our favorite nerddoms and catch up on what's happening from coast to coast. So it's great. I love it so much.
Me too. I go nuts. I'm like, someone actually said that at Universal of all places. We're like,
really?
The podcast. Yes, yeah. A mom and it was a husband and wife. So I was very, very stoked to hear that. And I'm like, of course, in Universal of all places.
One of our followers, I think she actually listens to the podcast also, or she's newer to the podcast. Oh, and I'm blanking on her name. I met them in Hollywood Studios before running into you, Megan. And she said, we were on the same flight as Megan from California. And we saw her. And now to be able to run into you, like they had just gone off. So if they were on the same plane, they ran into me the next day. Or 2 days later, I guess. And it's like, that's so cool. We got to see you guys. I'm like, but did you get to say hi to Megan? They're like, not really, because of the way the situation was when boarding on the plane. But they say hello, though.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's cool that we were on the same flight. I love that. Nice.
Such a small
hello.
world.
Couple I unfortunately did not get to say hi to. Hope you had a great Disney trip.
Yes.
It was a small world.
We also have some breaking Disney news we need to get into.
We interrupt our program to bring you this
Disney news. Well, we have news of some discounted ticket rates that are coming to Disneyland. I know, shocking. Not Disney World, Disneyland.
I know. We finally have some news. So Okay, we have a few things. So there is a summer ticket and hotel offer that has dropped at Disneyland. So usually they do have a California resident offer that's usually seasonal, but that has officially dropped at Disneyland. And so, excuse me here while I figure out the exact math on these or the pricing of these. Okay, so you can enjoy the magic of Disneyland or Disney's California Adventure for as little as $50 per child and $83 per adult per day, and that's Monday through Thursday. Again, they do have the options where you can get this ticket as a Monday through Thursday or a Monday through Sunday, but it's just a little bit more. You could upgrade that, and you can also add the park hopper option, which of course will allow you to visit both parks on one day. But for that 3-day, one park per day ticket, it's going to be do they ever include the full price on these things?
No, because
they always
you have to go through as if you're going to purchase it, so you see it with tax.
Exactly right. They always entice you with that. Oh, it's only $83, and then they're like, oh no, we actually don't include the full price. Right,
and it doesn't include how much it's going to be with Park Hopper. Either way, y'all, this discount is going to be from June 10th through September 26th. So you can start purchasing on May 29th, but that's what the tickets are good through. So if you're planning or trying to decide if I'm going to be going to Disneyland, I don't want to deal with the Magic Key, but I want to do something like that, I might be looking into that actually myself. I haven't decided yet. But
hey, it's a good deal. It's also for D23 time, so I get it.
Exactly. So actually,
and Halloween.
D23 is right afterwards.
D23 is August, so you can enjoy with this ticket in August. Yeah,
I keep thinking August is after September. That's why.
It's just like August with October.
I'm thinking mentally of my calendar. I'm just like, oh yeah, the month of August is before September.
Yeah,
because I just associate that so much with like Halloween season. So obviously August is way closer to Halloween than it really is.
It is. It's still technically summer, but yes, it is. And yes, you could also
do that then for my.
That's what I'm saying. You could easily do that. Yes, and that would save you a little bit of money.
We got
but
this.
Is this okay? Now, is this just a 3-day Disneyland ticket offer? Okay, so I think this is just for everyone. This is not a California resident thing. I'm pretty sure this is for everyone. That's very exciting. Okay.
It's very exciting. And then there's also the stay in place, and they're doing 25% off select stays at Grand California Adventure, Disneyland Hotel, and I don't think Pixar is included with this one. It's only the two. Yes.
I see the Disneyland Hotel and Disney's Grand Californian. So yes, Pixar Place is not included.
Not included. And
she is technically our value hotel anyway. So
right.
Even though she's the same price as Disneyland some days.
Honestly, yes.
yeah. But yeah, you could experience summer and Halloween time with this ticket. So that's pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm. And in that announcement also came the official announcement that Fantasmic is returning. We have a date for the return of Fantasmic in Disneyland, and that's going to be May 24th.
Coming up. That's coming up in just a few weeks. And as you guys know, unfortunately, our beloved dragon will not be making a reappearance. They have not recreated Murphy, but it's going to be an alternate ending to this Fantasmic story that we have. I'm very, very excited to see it. I believe also Peter Pan will be the scene returning with the pirate ship. It will not be Pirates of the Caribbean anymore.
That's right.
For those Peter Pan fans, I'm very happy for you.
The article says a popular production will introduce a new climatic battle sequence between Sorcerer Mickey and Maleficent, brought to life with updated special effects with Peter Pan, Captain Hook from Peter Pan. Well, yeah, guy, we kind of get the point that it's Peter Pan and Captain Hook from Peter Pan. You kind of know who he is. I love how they had to put it in quotations.
I know.
That's who it is.
Yeah. Thank you. Just needed that specific detail. But yeah, so
I feel like we hear so much of discounts and things happening for Disney World. I'm happy to hear that Disneyland's finally doing something this summer.
Yeah, I guess they want people to go experience Pixar Fest, and I'm all for it. And along those same lines, guys, we also did get the announcement. I'll just say it real quick that we did get the dates for Oogie Boogie Bash as well over at California Adventure. They added dates for August because, as you know, we are starting to celebrate Halloween a little bit early this year over at the Disneyland Resort. So
they added like us here in Disney World.
We're trying to sync up with Disney World, I know. So that hopefully will help people who really want to go to the party get their tickets, get the date that they want. As we know, Oogie Boogie Bash sold out in record time last year. There was a huge reseller problem, though, and Disneyland is trying to crack down on that. They will not be allowing resold tickets to enter the park, apparently. So we will see how all that goes. The on-sale date has not been announced, but that's probably coming in the next few weeks.
I'm actually pretty excited about that. And we saw the first major crackdown of that has started happening. And some people have already been banned from the parks because of their reselling. And
Yeah, the magic key holders, yeah.
yeah, the magic key holders. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. We might actually see some people be able to purchase tickets, actually.
I know. And I really hope so, because I had a lot of people reach out to me saying that they couldn't get tickets last year, which was really sad.
Oh.
So hopefully that changes this year, and you can go and enjoy the best Disney After Dark event, in my opinion, over here.
It is pretty cool. Well, we also have some other news coming from the Disney Cruise Line side. We talked a little bit about Lookout Cay, which is the new island in the new section coming out to Lighthouse Point over there for the cruise line. It's going to be one of the new stops over there. And they've just announced some of the entertainment that's going to be coming to the island. And it looks like a lot of fun. I'm obsessed with Daisy and Minnie Mouse's outfits that are exclusive to this island.
They're so cute. All the outfits are really cute. I love it.
And even looking at the concept art right here, it's just really, really cute. So there's going to be a show called Rush. And it's all about, well, hold on, I'm reading through this real quick to make sure I have this correct. But it's basically the performers are creating a parade from the Goombay Cultural Center, and they basically parade through a certain section, and it really is bringing the heartbeat of the Bahamas to life, along with our Fab Five friends also.
That's it looks really, really cool, and very, I mean, the outfits are amazing. So yes, it's with the call of a conch shell. It'll be a nice parade that goes through. I want to do a Disney cruise so bad, and this makes me want to go even more.
Hey, me and you are still holding out hope that we hear something about Treasure, because people know we're ready to test this out. We want them to just email us, available over at Disney Countdown Show at gmail.com or the Dapper Danielle at gmail.com or the wait, what's your email, Megan?
It's just Megan Hennigan.
Oh, see, you don't have the email yet?
No. I just have the name email. I'm so boring. I know.
Well, either contact me or the Countdown Show then. And just say, hey, we just want to bring Danielle and Megan along on the Treasure. We want them to also come check out the Disney Fun and the Sun Beach Bash. So that way Danielle can do the limbo with Goofy and we can build sandcastles with Chip and Dale. That's all Danielle wants to do.
Yeah, same. I would love to be included. I could gladly be a test dummy for all of this. So please hit us up over here at the Disney Countdown Show.
We would love to also do a podcast recording on the ship live from the Disney Treasure. So along with the Oogie Boogie Bash news, though, Mickey's Not So Scary got some news. Not a lot of major stuff. They did officially announce the dates. Our tickets are going to be going on sale here in like the next week, probably after this episode airs. And I think it's May 19th is what I heard originally.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's coming up for us.
Yeah.
So I assume yours will not be far behind for Oogie Boogies, but we don't have a release date of when their tickets will be going on sale. And we're starting in August again. I think it's first week of August or second week of August again, like the 7th or the 9th. One of the two. And not a lot of major changes have come. However, they have announced that villains will be returning for meet and greets, which is
cool. Okay.
Exciting. We are so excited about that. The villains, for the longest time, they met pre-COVID. And then they totally went away. Maybe you could meet Jafar or maybe you could meet Genie. And that was kind of it. But now I think they've kind of announced Maleficent, Evil Queen, Gaston, and maybe one other will be returning. And maybe it is Jafar that's going to be returning for meet and greets during the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And people are like, okay, this makes more sense now. We actually have like villains back in our Halloween party. So people are very, very excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was the part I was most excited about.
I feel like that's the one thing that Mickey's Not So Scary was truly missing, because I know it's a great event. People really love it.
Mhm.
So I think the meet and greets are just going to tie it all together and make it absolutely phenomenal for Halloween.
Yeah,
I'm very excited about that. Yay. And
well. I'm
you know,
excited because then you.
I
Have
think that means another trip is
There you
in the
go.
works for the Magical Millennial this year.
Well, and see, I don't know. Meet and greets are so important to these parties because it does help disperse out the crowd. So you have the people that are there for the parade. Oh, which by the way, they haven't said exactly when, but the first parade will be starting earlier in the party. So if they are there with kids, this is the first year that they're doing it. I think it's a whole hour earlier. So that way, if you have little kids that are zonking out right before the first parade, you guys can go ahead and watch it. You don't feel like you're missing much, and then you can peace out. Which is awesome. So that's something else that they just announced. But the meet and greets just spread out people. You have the entertainment people. You have the people that are like me that are there for candy, and then you have the meet and greet people. So it'll be a nice little disbursement. It'll be good.
Good. All good things.
All good things.
Love that. We're over halfway to Halloween now, and all the Halloween news is coming out. So very exciting.
And I don't know. I don't know if you've seen this, Megan, but so many people have been commenting on people's posts about it. I haven't said anything just yet on our post, but people are like, it's too early to talk about Halloween. And I'm like, guys, people have been planning out their Disney trips for over a year, if not 6 months. We got to let them know sometime beforehand. It can't be just right when season technically starts.
Has no one heard of planning? Has no one heard of planning? Has no one heard of planning around Disney? I'm sorry. Like, you got to start planning these things months in advance. And you are barking up the wrong tree when you say it's too early to talk about holidays, because I want to be talking about Christmas right now. Okay. I would rather skip summer altogether. Worst season ever. Don't even get me started. And I would rather it be Halloween right now than I have to endure summer. So you're talking to the wrong person. It's never too early. And yeah, you just go complain somewhere else, please, because I'm not having it.
Accurate, because I do have a playlist on Spotify that is literally Christmas in July. So it's all like the beachy Christmas music, and I really, really love it. So I have actually listened to it once already here this past week, and it's a vibe. I'm very excited about it. Oh,
a whole
question,
vibe.
Megan. One of our Patreon people brought this up in the very beginning before we started recording this episode. What do you mean the big owl statue talks over at California Adventure in Disneyland?
We have a big owl statue next to Grizzly River Run that talks and sings.
Y'all,
I don't
tell you
why.
This wooden statue bear thing literally dropped out of the sky. And did it go to Disney World? No, it went to California Adventure, and look at him.
There he is. He's massive. Yeah,
he's next to the Grizzly Peak Recreation Center. Isn't that the DVC section right there, or is that a guest relations?
This is the new. Yes, they actually had this under construction for a while. This is the Grizzly Peak Recreation Area DVC. Kind of like. Yeah, there's a person right there. You can see a representative talking about DVC. So yes, it's like a little hangout spot and just a big old statue of Big Al with his little guitar, talking to people and doing a little. He does tiny little tidbits of singing here and there. Yes,
that is chaotic, and I love it so much. And
it's so funny because Country Bears was not in DCA. Obviously, it was in Land.
No.
We don't have it anymore. I'm digging the representation. We have nothing Country Bears in our resort. So
you do have one mention to him in California Adventure, though, and that's over at Goofy Sky School.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, we do.
So
yes,
like you have mention of him. I just think it's funny that they're just like, we're gonna put a whole statue that'll randomly sing at you next to the DVC section, which also is not that popular. DVC in general. I mean, it has a representation in California, but not in the same that it does here in Florida. But we're just going to take the statue and place it there. So random.
Yeah. It's very. Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think
I'm not angry about it. I'm just confused.
I guess they were wanting some sort of bear representation because it's Grizzly River Run or Grizzly Peak, and they chose Big Al. Yeah.
I mean, I understand you need to bring out the big guns when it comes to selling DVC over in California. So you're just like, we're just going to bring Big Al, and it'll bring all the people in.
You might be right about that. Yeah. So yeah, there he is. Don't know how long he's going to be there for, but yeah, he just showed up one day. There we go.
He's the meet and greet I'm really going for
Right.
Oogie Boogie Bash. Forget
Exactly.
everything else. I just want to go see the Big Al statue.
Yep. Good times. Good times.
Well,
Oh,
I
man.
hear that Chris, our game master, has a brand new game for us. So, Chris, are you there? Ta-da.
I am here, and I have a game. Hello. The game is called the Almost Impossible Trivia Quiz.
Wait, what?
Oh,
It's the Almost Impossible Trivia Quiz. Now, I know it sounds daunting, but give me a second. Okay. So, about a month or so ago, we played a game called Initially Identical, and one of the answers for that game was the Rocketeer. And we talked a little bit about it, and you both said you hadn't seen it. Am I correct?
That's
Correct.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, I mentioned how good it was and that you should definitely check it out. It's been over a month. That's more than enough time to watch a movie. So today's game is going to be all about the Rocketeer.
Not even a warning. Not even a. You probably should watch this movie. Wow. I am busy, okay? Sorry.
I understand. I understand both of you are busy, so I'll do my best to help out as much as I can. I'll give you 2 questions that share the same answer. The first question will be a Rocketeer question, and then if you're stumped, the second will be a general knowledge question. If you don't quite get it now, I'm sure you'll catch on as we go, just like with all the other games. So for those that haven't seen it before, and spoiler alert, it's been out for 33 years, so you've had plenty of time, so I'm going to spoil the entire movie basically for you in this game. But feel free to watch it anyway. Set in the 1930s, the Rocketeer follows our hero, Cliff Secord, as he discovers a top-secret jetpack that gives him the ability to fly, and he takes on the heroic alias, the Rocketeer.
Yes.
And for this game, you can just ding in if you know it.
And he's like, I doubt it.
Not both at once.
Ding it if you know it.
So the first question for this answer is going to be, where does Cliff Secord find the jetpack?
Ding.
Go ahead, Danielle.
Doesn't he find it in like the It's not the ocean, is it?
It is not the ocean.
Where does he find
Here's
it?
the easier question, the general knowledge question. What structure often found on airfields houses airplanes?
Oh, a
Airplane hangar.
Hangar, that's right.
Yeah, okay, see.
You know more about the movie than you thought. During a chase scene with authorities, the jetpack is stashed away in a hangar. While we're on that subject, after the jetpack is stashed in the airplane hangar in an attempt to trick the FBI, what household appliance does the getaway driver swap the jetpack out for?
A toaster.
Blender.
That would be incorrect on both of those. One. And here's the general knowledge question, the follow-up. Originally known as a carpet sweeper, what cleaning machine with rotating brushes and bellows for suction was invented in 1860?
A vacuum?
Vacuum.
Vacuum. You're doing so good.
Yes. We're crushing these
He's just making
games.
fun of us at this point.
No, absolutely.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Here we go. With a group of hired thugs on his tail, Cliff takes refuge in the attic of a small diner. The question is, what animal is the diner fabricated to look like?
A bear.
A dog.
A dog is correct.
Oh, I forgot it.
Because don't they sell hot dogs? Isn't that like a thing?
Well, I don't know if they might. I don't know if it was ever really addressed in the movie, but I know that the dog was on Walt Disney World property for a while.
Yes.
Oh.
And then
I
the
think that's
general
how that
knowledge
is, like,
question
dog
was a third of all households in the world have what type of pet, and that's a dog.
Dog.
Be a dog. Yeah.
There you go. The diner was based on a real diner called the Bulldog Cafe that was demolished in 1955. Here's the next question, and it brings us to our antagonist in the movie, Neville Sinclair. Neville Sinclair is a Errol Flynn type character who ends up being a spy for the Axis powers.
Ooh.
The actor that plays Sinclair is known for playing what famous movie character in the 80s?
Is it a James Bond villain?
It's not a James Bond villain. You want to try again? Or you want the general knowledge question?
Do you have a guess, Megan?
No.
Well, you were so close, but I will give you the general knowledge question. What character is known for ordering his drink shaken and not stirred?
Oh,
so
James
he
Bond.
was
So
James
he was
Bond.
James Bond.
He was
Okay,
James
okay.
Bond. Timothy Dalton played James Bond in The Living Daylights and License to Kill.
See, I was close. I just said the villain instead of the actual like
I almost gave it to you,
007.
but you kept going.
Ha!
Next one. What does Cliff Secord stick on the aircrafts that he pilots for luck? Not both at once. It's okay. If you don't know it, you want to do the general knowledge or you want to just give it a guess. Sometimes the guesses work out.
Wait, what would you stick on it for luck? A kiss.
Well, I'll give you the general knowledge. What substance was created by a dentist to be chewed but not swallowed in order to clean teeth and straighten
Gum.
people's jaws?
I said
It is-
dumb.
Oh, so you were right.
Ha!
Moving right along, the final standoff with Cliff Secord and Neville Sinclair takes place on what type of flying vessel?
Oh, a blimp? Not blimp.
I will give you blimp. It is a Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. See,
It's a
Zeppelin.
German blimp. It's a rigid construction.
see, it's what every good guy fights on with like the evil Nazis at the end of every movie. Like they're always on a Zeppelin of some sort. I feel like,
Yeah.
or at least in Indiana Jones, they are
And also in the Rocketeer.
in the rock.
So moving on, after a tussle that leaves the Zeppelin on fire, Cliff reluctantly gives the jetpack to Sinclair, but not before removing a wad of gum from a bullet hole acquired from a shootout earlier in the film. Question is, a few moments after taking flight, the jetpack explodes, sending Sinclair into a fireball towards what famous real-life landmark?
The Griffith Observatory.
Is wrong. So, perched on Mount Lee in Los Angeles, what landmark sign had the word land removed from it in 1949?
Hollywood Land.
Sign.
Hollywood sign is correct. So that's basically the movie. We have one more question,
The Griffith Observatory is actually really close to that, so I wasn't too wrong about that.
but he didn't land on the.
No, he did not land on. No.
So you were 100% wrong.
Yes, it was.
Director Joe Johnston may not be a household name, but he played a huge part in pop culture, apart from being the director of movies like Jumanji and Captain America: The First Avenger. Johnston spent a good portion of his career working in special effects. The question is, what iconic sci-fi movie spacecraft was designed by Johnston?
Enterprise.
Enterprise is incorrect.
Oh.
And the general knowledge question, what spacecraft can make the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs?
The Millennium
And
Falcon.
Millennium Falcon. That's it.
He
And
did
that
that.
is
That's
Rocketeer.
cool. That is cool.
See, we should have
Okay.
just gone Star Wars IP first instead of just me being like, oh, when that was also popular at the time, that was doing a lot of stuff. And I was just like, yeah.
This is also Chris's way of saying, get your butts in gear and watch the freaking Rocketeer on Disney Plus.
I know, add it to my
Yeah.
watch list.
And we probably don't have time to get to it, but I would maybe watch The Three Musketeers at some point soon.
That too, The Three Musketeers is also on the list.
Or maybe don't. Who knows? I don't
A
know.
lot of tears.
Maybe I'm just
Rocketeer, Three Musketeers. Okay.
All the tears.
All the tears. All right. Well, that's on our list, Danielle. But thank you so much, Chris. That was really fun.
That was a
Well,
good
Very much
one.
enjoyed that. It was a good one. Humbled me very much.
And again, if Disney Plus randomly starts seeing a sudden play in The Rocketeer, you're welcome, Disney. Brought to you by
Yeah.
producer Chris here at Disney
That's
Countdown
right.
Show.
Watch the uptick in the Rocketeer. That's right. Oh, yay. Thank you, Chris.
All right, moving on from our game, Miss Megan. It is time
Yes.
to get down to the meat and potatoes. The reason why we are here, the countdown of our top 5 favorite lands. And again, y'all, this is not just Disneyland. It's not just Magic Kingdom. We are incorporating all of the parks, at least here in America, the ones that we have visited. So Megan can count in ones from Tokyo Disney if she really wanted to. But I don't know if they'll make her list. And we're only doing the top 5 for this one right now. And based on how this goes, we could be doing this again later on and revisiting this. And we're really narrowing down specific lands,
True.
but we're keeping it pretty generic. And it doesn't have to have land in the name.
Correct. Yes, that's another thing too, is that technically, yes, Main Street is a land in both Disneyland and Magic Kingdom. Toontown, obviously, it's town rather than land. That is also a land. Critter Country is a land. So that is correct. Doesn't have to have land in the name.
Yes.
So
And someone did ask earlier in the episode, and we did confirm that if you wanted to say World Showcase for Epcot, World Showcase as a whole is a land, not just one specific country.
yes.
Mhm.
Which is, I had no idea before we started recording. So I think we need to do a part 2.
See, and everyone that one might be up for debate, but when Epcot breaks it down into regions or lands, then it's considered a land.
Yeah.
And that's how they break it down for that one.
Yep. All right. So, would you like me to get us started over here, Danielle?
I think so. I say you get started with your number 5.
Okay. So my number 5 is going to be New Orleans Square in Disneyland. Now, I always said that this was my favorite land in Disneyland, particularly because when Haunted Mansion is open and when Pirates of the Caribbean is also open, she's just, to me, absolutely magnificent. I love the little buildings that they have kind of tucked in the back where Blue Bayou is, Cafe Orleans, the shops over there. With little Miss, is it Theodora? That's Tiana's mom.
Yes.
Yes. And I love that little shop back there. I love that they have Pandora. They have the perfume shop, the crystal shop, and the food's amazing over here. They got the mint julep bar, and yeah, not to mention some of the best rides in the park. They got Pirates and Haunted Mansion. So that is why I love the vibes of New Orleans Square, especially like around the holidays. They put the lights over there, and obviously we do have Haunted Mansion Holiday. Unfortunately, not this year, but it's a whole vibe. And she's just my favorite in that. She's my favorite for Disneyland. So that is why she's at number 5.
That is a good choice. I do like that
Thank
one a
you.
lot.
Thank
Now,
you.
I actually went with, for number 5 for myself, I went with Main Street USA, and specifically the Walt Disney World version, which I know some people are just going to be like, wait, what do you mean? Disney World, Disneyland? Y'all. I love Disneyland's Main Street. That would probably be my number 6 option, honestly. But number 5, Disney World, it is my Main Street because that's why I associate here in Walt Disney World. And I love how it decorates for the holidays. I love our Christmas overlays. It's the only section that really gets decorated for Halloween. And I don't know. I love the history references of Main Street. Now, after doing my Dapper Day outfit, slightly inspired by 1890 to 1910, that fashion era, and really having a little more appreciation for it here recently. And ours is to look more like a movie set, and Beulah, Maine, which is an imaginary town in Maine. Ours has that aesthetic where Disneyland's is supposed to resemble more of Main Street in Marceline, Missouri, which is Walt Disney's boyhood town. I've seen the actual Marceline. I love that one. Count that as a land.
Yep.
Never mind.
Oh,
That
for
is
sure.
right there.
Right? I know. So
But
cool.
yeah. That's why I chose Main Street for Disney World.
Good choice. Good choice. Main Street is also a vibe, and I gotta say I would take Disneyland's over Worlds, but again, that's just what I grew up with, so totally understand. I do love, I mentioned it in one of my videos, rounding that corner and seeing Cinderella's giant castle at the end of your Main Street. Very cool. Always love that feeling.
And that's the other thing, is that for us, our Main Street land technically connects over to the hub in the front of the castle. So that's kind of why I got a little more of the up compared to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Hub grass in that area really bumps it up.
Yeah, totally understand. Good choice, Danielle. Okay. We got number 4 for me is going to be over in Disney World, and that is Pandora in Animal Kingdom. I
knew this was going to be on your list.
How can you not? It's so amazing the way that it is designed to look like actual floating mountains. The way that it lights up at night, the little things here and there that not a lot of people know about. There are some little hidden details of the world of Avatar that you can go around and explore, and it's more active. It's a little tiny like tidbits that I'm not going to say on here because I've been told to keep it secret. But and of course, Flight of Passage is one of my favorite attractions in Walt Disney World Resort. I do like the Navi River journey, by the way. I think it gets a tad bit of unnecessary hate. I think it's really pretty. Obviously, the multi-million-dollar animatronic is so cool at the end.
It's great if you don't have to wait for it. If you have to
True.
wait more than 30 minutes for the ride, absolutely not. But if
I
you
think
don't have to
that's-
wait for it, great walk on. Love it.
I think that's 100% correct. Yes. The first time I went on it, I actually waited an hour. So I understand that because it is very short. But yeah, it's just a simply stunning land, both during the day and at night. And I just love being over there. Oh, Satuli Canteen, even with the food. Oh, man. One of my favorite spots.
It makes you feel like you're eating
Hungry,
healthier just because
It
it's like,
does.
not fried.
Right. They got like good, wholesome like food, the good bowls, and yeah, and good drinks too. So
Yeah.
that it had to be top 5. So there's Pandora, the world of Avatar at number 4.
Yeah, I was really thinking about adding this. That's why we're gonna have to maybe visit this again in another countdown.
I'm thinking so. Yeah,
because that would be on my list, but it's not in my top 5.
and I understand that. I get it.
See, I'm sorry, Pandora fam. I know we have a lot of people that listen to us or even follow us, Megan, both on our individual socials and here on the podcast. We have a lot of Pandora cast members that follow us. So, hey, Black Passage fam, we love you.
I also just want to say, and I want to throw it out there. I know it's kind of a tangent, but as much as I love Pandora in Animal Kingdom, I gotta say, I am the one, or one of many, who did not ask for it over on the West Coast. I love it in Animal Kingdom. I do not care for it being over on the West Coast, whatever we are getting. So yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird feeling, but didn't ask for it over here.
You know what? Actually, to play off of that, Megan, let's go into a ratatouille right here. Let's just do a little ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Something that did not make our news segment of this episode, but I should have mentioned it earlier, is that they released the images for Fantasy Springs over in Tokyo Disney right before we started recording this episode.
Yes.
Y'all, if you're going to bring anything to California Adventure or whatever, why are you bringing Pandora when you have all these other options? They're going to Fantasy Springs, the animatronics,
Right.
the storytelling, the detail. I am raging over here as I've been looking at this. I'm just like bombastic side eye as I'm just like looking at all this. Not saying that I want to copy and paste it over here, but knowing that the capability is there and that we could have something cool is what's making me angry.
I just don't understand, like, who on the research team decided that Pandora or anything Avatar should go on the West Coast? I don't understand where that came from.
I don't know.
And like, anyone I ask is like, no, I didn't really ask for an Avatar or anything. And yes, the capability of putting something like a Tangled ride or Tangled anything. Oh, we don't have anything Tangled as far as besides like the show at the Little Princess Theater. Like,
Even then,
that's it.
Yeah, a small statue that's maybe 6 foot tall.
Yeah, that kind of glows sometimes. Barely at night, you can barely see it. But I'm just like, oh my god! I did see some of the little ride through preview of the Tangled ride, and I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all are doing that over there. And
I mean, unless that's what they're planning for your expansion over there in California.
maybe we don't.
But
We have no idea
to see it.
what's going to be included exactly. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm
anyway,
seeing a lot of agreements in the comment section over on with our Patreons. Thank you all. Thank you.
So, and the Ratatouille. Thank you for coming to this episode.
And stop. Okay, Danielle. So what is your number 4 then?
Yes. Number 4 is you said your number 4 was Pandora, correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
My number 4 is over in California, and it is going to be your Toontown.
Oh, yay.
Yes, this one probably would not have been at my top until recently after visiting and getting to see after post all the construction. Some of the history tidbits are still there. The queue for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is there still.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The more and more I think about it, I'm just like, I'm a Toontown girly. I really
You totally are. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. This works so perfectly for you. And the fact that it was just completed with Donald's splash pad, the boat splash pad over there. It's great
Yes.
timing. Great timing for this. So, yeah, fully agree. You know what I do? I do miss the trolley a little bit. I think that was a cute thing. It wasn't working for the longest time before they changed it.
For like
They did a whole
long time.
overhaul. Yeah, it was a long time. I know. I did like the fountains, I guess, by Mickey and Minnie's house, but I think that they did do a really good job making it so it's very, very it's way more kid friendly around. There's so many things to play with, to touch, to look at. They'll keep them active for the longest time, and it's very I just appreciate they put a lot of the disability features in there as well, with the
Yes.
haptics and the sounds and the colors and everything. So that was a really cool thing that they included. And obviously the queue for Mickey and Minnie's, and just the fact that we have Runaway Railway all back there is like
Right.
so perfect. Yeah.
And even though as I get older and Roger Rabbit gives me whiplash anytime I go on it, I still greatly enjoy it in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's a
It-
walk
no,
on.
it's
I
so
won't wait long
fun.
for it though.
No, I don't know. And that queue is it's one of the worst to wait in. Don't even get me started. But it is a fun ride for sure. And I love Detective Jessica Rabbit's my fave.
So that's why that one's sitting pretty there at number 4 for me.
Love it. Love it. Love it very much. All right. Number 3 for me. Oh, it's going to be Fantasyland. Now, I will say that Fantasyland is not, this isn't Disneyland, by the way. It's not Disney World.
Okay.
For a variety of reasons. But number one, we have great rides over in ours. I love the nostalgia of our rides. And there's a couple reasons. So it's not my favorite land to be in, like, and to like vibe in, you know what I mean? Like, I don't,
It's my
stay there
favorite late at night in the last hour of the park being
totally.
open.
Absolutely. It's a great final place to kind of go and like maybe do a few rides on at night. Casey Jr., oh my God, my favorite Fantasyland ride. I love Casey Jr. Circus Train. Snow White's Enchanted Wish. I love what they did with that ride. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, like just the craziness of that ride, the fact that they've kept it around for so long, even though it goes off the rails literally. And Peter Pan's great. I also just love that Fantasyland's huge. Our Fantasyland is actually quite big. You do have those small rides that are the more kid-friendly ones, like the teacups and Storybook Boats, Alice in Wonderland.
Matterhorn is
Technically
considered part of
Fantasyland.
Fantasyland.
That's correct. Yes. And then on that border of the Finding Nemo submarine voyage, that is Tomorrowland. So Matterhorn's technically Fantasyland, and Small World is also technically Fantasyland. So you do have a big area encompassing Fantasyland, and quite a few like really good rides that it's all a part of. So that's why I like it. I think our Fantasyland, again, just for the nostalgia alone, it's been there. It's been that same layout for since 1955. And again, the being there at night, it's very wholesome. I do love being there because the crowds dissipate, the lines go way down, and so that's why I love it.
Y'all, if you are planning your trip to Disneyland anytime soon, this is how I've actually been finishing off my last 2 visits to Disneyland. Was I will end my night. I will stay as super late as possible. You end your night leaving through Fantasyland. You get on 1 or 2 rides there at the very end, because that's when the wait time's the shortest. Usually you can just walk onto Snow White at that point of night.
Yep.
And then you can exit through the castle, and then you slowly transition down Main Street USA. That is the vibe. That is the way you end your trip at Disneyland before you go home. That's how you do it correctly. Just
100% on your Disneyland day. 100%. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And someone actually, Amber just mentioned it's crowded midday. Yeah, maybe try to avoid it from 1 to 4 p.m. It's not too Fantasyland. No, it's kind of a shoulder to shoulder madness. So agreed on that. All right, what's your number 3, girl?
Well, moving on to number 3. Okay, this is where it's getting really tricky. Okay, I wrote down quite a few lands, and I've actually scratched out a couple of options too as I've been doing this. But for me, number 3 is going to be New Orleans Square.
Oh, yay! Woohoo!
And it really just boils down to, not that I ride, like I need to go on Pirates of the Caribbean next time I'm there. I'm just gonna suck it up, go on anyway, even though I don't like your hill drop, whatever it is. And I just like the vibes.
Right?
You just going in and out of the shops. I hate that I
Yes.
don't have enough time usually just to hang out and spend there.
Mhm.
The history behind it, and even just some great
Yeah.
1960s end of Walt's life history that's associated with New Orleans Square. It is so cool.
Right. And like I didn't even mention this in my, because mine was number 5, but I love that you just look right at Rivers of America. It's right there in front of you.
Right.
What a lovely view. You got the Mark Twain, the steamboat passing by occasionally, sometimes the Columbia ship, and it's simply for the vibes. I mean, let's
Now,
just be quite
do you still have the pirate band, or is it the jazz band that usually goes walking around?
Well, it alternates. Yeah, sometimes it's the pirates, and sometimes we do have the jazz. Yeah.
And they're
Like,
literally,
we
you can
still-
just find them in the alcoves next to certain stores there in New
Yeah.
Orleans Square. And
Mhm.
some of the best pictures and best photo ops are over in New Orleans Square.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes. And also Tiana's is technically a part of New Orleans Square. A very good little eatery. And the band does perform there as well. So,
Ah,
and you got a train station there too, in case you want
that's
to hop
true.
on the train. Mm-hmm.
Probably the only station I ever, that one and Main Street are the only two that I ever wait for the train over there, and I always go.
Right?
So
Yeah,
good.
exactly. Those are the best 2 spots for me, I think. I never ever do the Tomorrowland one, by the way, just because that one's right before the Grand Canyon. It's usually the longest line, just so everybody knows.
Oh, good to know. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
go
fun
over
facts.
to New Orleans Square, and that's where you can hear the them doing the opening commencement speech of Disneyland
Mhm.
through Morse code.
Morse code. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Love the history. Yeah. Oh, yay. Okay. I'm glad that was your number 3. All right. We're getting down here to number 2. Okay. I feel like this should surprise no one. It's Galaxy's Edge. It's Batu. I mean, I could go on. I could say a lot of things about Galaxy's Edge, but let me just start at the beginning. Um, when we first got to preview Star Wars Land and Batu in June of 2019. First of all, I booked a hotel room specifically so I wouldn't have to wait in the queue to do the previews. And so I booked a hotel room and we got our preview time. And so we ended up getting to the park at 7 a.m. I took my cousin, my brother and sister, and my best friend. And walking through that entrance, it was the one by Big Thunder, was one of the coolest experiences, and like had full body chills, with just like eyes wide open to everything we were seeing. And the first thing we did, I think I got a walk up time for Oga's. Then we went on the ride, a Smuggler's Run. Rise and Resistance was not open, of course, at this time. And just taking it all in, from the marketplace to the Falcon to going to Oga's and experiencing a Star Wars cantina and being immersed in the whole land, or the whole just atmosphere of Star Wars, was so cool. I think they did such a good job. Still love going through there, both in the daytime and at night. It was one of the best things I think Disney Imagineering has ever constructed. And not to mention, Rise of the Resistance is one of the best rides. Let's be honest. It really is. To me, it's an experience more than like a ride. But yeah, I can say so much more about it. It's just amazing.
That is a great choice. And you know what? Actually, I'm second guessing some of my life choices, but Galaxy's Edge is right up there in the top 10 for me. I hate that I did not include that in my list, especially how much I talk about loving Galaxy's Edge and how much I love Rise of the Resistance. Maybe maybe it's because I didn't actually consider it a land in the back of my mind. I considered it like its own, like not even park, but its own experience, like you were saying, like its own thing. So I don't categorize it as a land almost.
Yeah, it's kind of technically it's its own planet, hence why they can serve alcohol at a bar. It's not supposed to be a part of Disneyland. It's really supposed to be a whole, like you are transported to a different planet. So totally get that. But you're still walking into to land for me from
I
the
mean, it's true. Maybe I'm just trying to justify why it's not in my top 5 because I know I'm
No, it's okay.
later.
And that's why, Danielle, that's why we have settled on making a part 2. This is going to be a continuation. We thought this was only going to be a one-time countdown, but we're gonna.
We might not visit it in this season, but that is definitely a topic that we will visit into the next season of the show.
For sure.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Now.
Season 4. Yes.
Yes.
But what is your number 2, Danielle?
My number 2 is still technically under construction, but it is someplace I've been hanging out a lot here recently, and that is World Celebration over at Epcot. That new area right there behind the Epcot ball. We're waiting for Communicord to open up here very, very soon, and that's going to be the new hangout spot for all the characters. There's going to be some new interactive pieces and some new entertainment offerings there. See, people are going to be like, Danielle, why are you choosing World Celebration? That doesn't make any sense. Because it's the only place where I can go in. I can do my casual Disney merch shopping over in Creations. I can go over and get my food, my little drinky drinks over at Connections, and then I walk outside and I can use any of the chargers. It's all beautifully shaded now. At nighttime, it is a vibe, and just chill and hang out and just enjoy the soundtrack and the vibes of Epcot. It is one of my favorites.
Honestly, totally agree. I love, and oh my gosh, Danielle, you would have died. My mom was just going off about how beautiful they had created this World Celebration spot. I was like, I told her everything that they had put in, and she was enthralled by it, like loved it. So it is really, really cool. I do love the whole just the whole outlay of it. Obviously, Walt statue. It's a cool spot to just chill and hang. And yeah, I love the even just from like the plants and stuff that they put in. It's beautiful. They did a great job.
I think the Imagineers and some people have gotten very smart of realizing that the Disney adult, the one that wants to go into a park, that wants to work outside somewhere, just hang out and get stuff done, but still needs to maybe have attachment to a computer and like sit and get stuff done. I can't tell you how many videos I have edited over in World Celebration before to post and then leave the park. It has been over there in that section.
Yeah,
it is great.
You can get work done there. It's like even just like the atmosphere. It's not too busy. It's not noisy. It is wonderful.
It is great. The only downside is that since Pluto is not inside Communicord just yet, he's usually running around and roaming in the area. So sometimes if you're working, all of a sudden you'll just have this giant schnoz come up to you and sniff you around. And it's because it's Pluto and he's just hanging out. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And that was the character we saw when we walked into that area. Just kind of, doing a little meet and greet, walking around. But I love that choice. I had a feeling that might have been in yours. Yeah. So that's that is a good one. Very peaceful.
Well, what about number 1, Miss Megan?
Number 1. Okay. Well, before we get into it, thank you all so much for listening. Again, we are, of course, here on the YouTube. If you watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/Countdown Network, you can follow us on the socials. We post some fun content there. Disney Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, all that good stuff. And that's Pod Disney on Twitter/the X. And thank you to our Patreons for joining in on this session. We appreciate you guys. Hello.
And I feel like we've talked a lot in this episode. Like we covered a lot of news.
Yeah.
We got a lot of small talk to cover, and then we also covered a lot of our fan messages because those are building up and we have to get through some of them.
Yes.
So thank y'all so much again for listening this far into the episode. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, and of course for leaving your reviews and your ratings. Very much appreciated. All right. Let's get into number 1. So my number 1 is it's Cars Land.
My number 1 is Cars Land.
I so had a feeling. I had a feeling because I was like, we both rave about Cars Land so much on this show and to each other, and I mean, just how can you not love it? I think it's a lot of people's favorite.
Chris, our producer, as I just like screamed into the microphone.
My dog was sleeping and put her head up in the room. Oh my gosh, sorry. Let's finish. She's like, why are you yelling? As much as I can with the voice that I have. But yes, I mean, we could talk about it for so long. It's just like,
gosh.
Cars, it made me fall in love with the movie Cars even more. Just the fact that they built an exact replica of Radiator Springs, and it's got the best rides. It's got Naders, you have Luigi's, and Radiator Springs Racers, which is many, many people's favorite ride at the Disneyland Resort. And the food from Flo's, you got Cozy Cone and the Shaboom, the when the lights turn on, to Life Could Be a Dream, and the fact that they change it for Halloween and Christmas. It's like a different, it's a holiday song. I mean, what else is there to say about Cars Land and how absolutely perfect it is?
Y'all, we've been talking a lot about places. I think what it really boils down to, Megan, is that our choices are definitely based off of where we like to just go and hang out because we go to the park so much. And like, I chose World Celebration because it's a great place to chill. I chose Main Street USA just because I like the vibe and the history and the environment. But Cars Land is all of that combined. And last trip there, because it was during holiday season, so all the Christmas music was going on. Y'all, some of the best Christmas decor is over in Cars Land, like with the most storytelling and the most detail. It's all over in Cars Land. And listening to the soundtrack and some of the goofy original songs that are created for Cars Land, hilarious.
Right.
And I literally just sat there and watched the sunset to see their version of Shaboom. I was in that land for almost over 2 hours just hanging out. It was great. Don't regret it. It is amazing.
It really is. Like just down to like the tiniest details. Like, it's great for Halloween too. I love it for Halloween. They have the zombie car, which is honestly quite like a little morbid when you think about it, but like it's making noise and releasing like the fog and stuff. For Halloween, you got the spider cars out. So it's just so cool. And okay, so down to the littlest detail. One of the first things that I notice about Disney details and how specific they can get is the type of flowers they put by the Cozy Cone. And they do this on purpose. They're the actual orange cone flowers that are put only by the Cozy Cone, because they are shaped like orange cones. And I'm like, oh, okay. Disney thinks of everything, and the fact that they put the little Toy Story characters. If you haven't seen these yet, this is one of the coolest things about Cozy Cone is that yes, they do have Buzz and the gang underneath the cones in the little makeshift like the lobby area. They're hiding underneath the cones, which is so stinking cute. Just a little Pixar Easter egg over there. So it, I could go on and on. It's simply stunning. Disney Imagineering showing off for sure. And just even like by the going into San Francisco, looking at the mountains that they created in the forced perspective.
Oh my God.
That is one of the best uses of forced perspective I've ever seen. It really looks like you are within, the Arizona mountain range or the Utah mountain range. So
the amount of pictures I have taken over there, and my phone thinks that it's in the desert, and I'm just like trying to get all the different colors of the lighting as the sun's setting, and then the light on the mountains change also. And vibes again, vibes. Love it.
Amazing. Yeah. Yep. So there it is, number one for both of us.
For both of us. A round of applause, everyone, for Cars being in our number one spot.
Good ones, yes. And
Lindsay in our comments mentioned the ofrenda in Cars Land. Yes, to Doc Hudson, which is so sweet. That is during Halloween. They make a whole ofrenda for Doc Hudson. Super, super cool. Which is almost kind of like an ode to Coco as well. So,
right.
We love
all the
crossover
Pixar
with
crossovers.
All the Pixar crossover we're big fans of. Yes. So yeah. Oh, and it is Amber is saying that it is one of the lands that you run through for Run Disney during the races. Yeah.
Which is like great.
And the lights are on because it's pitch black.
Right. If you're not going to run through anything in Disneyland, because it's not like you can run through like an entire park like what you can do here. But for it being over in California, and at least that's one area you get to run through, it better be all lit up. It better be beautiful.
I know.
Run Disney event. That's all I'm saying.
And it is. It is. They put all the lights on. It's great. So, yep. Yay. That was awesome. Good list. Well, I'm looking forward to our round 2 then maybe in season 4. We'll see.
Yes, we'll have to
Yeah.
visit this, and we'll have to give some more specifics on what we're really narrowing down and what we're focusing on.
True.
So let us know in a DM and email, in our reviews. Let us know what you think we should use to make this list a little more specific. What do you want us to actually count down when it comes to lands? And or do you want us to focus on food? Do you want us to focus on, maybe we do one about Epcot and the like breakdown World Showcase itself and the countries.
can do that.
We need to focus on that too.
We can break down the pavilions for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
Pavilion.
I'm
Not
at
land.
Pat Stan.
Somebody asked that earlier.
All right. Well, thank you again so much for listening, guys. We will see y'all next week for a new countdown. But until then, have a very magical day.
And night night, sleep tight, dream of churros tonight.
Hooray!
They picked Cars Land for both
I-
of ours.
I knew
I had a
it.
feeling.
Just like this, the OG or the Disney fans, the Disney adults. You gotta just give it up to Cars Land.
The vibes are there.
Simply the best. Yeah.
Good list.
Hey. To have your name at the end of our new episodes and to receive a bunch of magical perks, please check out our Patreon via the link in the episode notes.
Or visit patreon.com/Disney Countdown Show. We'll see you there.